Time traveler moves a chair. The timeline. Watching a tribute the 80th anniversary of D-Day on YouTube. Seeing the newest comments. Bill Slim and the Forgotten Army. Japanese army in Burma. Japan after seeing their allies invade Poland. Thomas had never seen such bullcrap before. Surrender the city. Guzman the good. No. But we've got your son. I don't care. But, that doesn't make any sense. We are going to kill him. Too bad. Here, take my knife. George III in real life. I was universally loved by my people, never cheated on my wife in our 56 years of marriage, and heavily opposed slavery. George III in media. I was an evil tyrant who went crazy after losing America. American Steel. The Royal Navy. Spies and intelligence services. The entire force of the Commonwealth. Pissed off occupied countries. Operation Overlord. The Crusades were regrettable, misguided, and an embarrassment to all rational Westerners today. Me, an intellectual. That's where you're wrong, kiddo. A woman visiting a Turkish bathhouse. Eradication of smallpox. Tribes the English and French encountered first. Building alliances between tribes. Creating trade routes within the region. Standardized currencies. Tribes the Spanish encountered first. Blood for the blood god. When Rosalind said she's marry me, I think that was the most exciting moment. I love you too. I have tried so hard to do right. When he went, the power and glory of the presidency went with him. The light has gone out of my life. The Deep South voting for Democratic candidates with 90+% from 1877 to 1960s and 1970s. I love democracy. Calvin Klein. Vast industrialization of the Soviet Union. Built by Western capitalism plus American engineers plus caused Holodomor. The US spending 180 years building up beautiful, rich, dense cities with amazing infrastructure that were the envy of the world. Suburbanization and the automobile. Source. I translated it from gold plate side dug up out of the ground. That's a nice country. Why don't you back it up with a national identity? My national identity is that I made it the F up. Most of the West when Japan first opened its borders, a bunch of unequal treaties. Mexico casually drops a proper treaty between them and Japan. Most of the West, you weren't supposed to do that. Alexander the Great may have had Guillain-Barré syndrome, explaining why his body didn't decompose for 6 days after his death. Then he might have been alive and cognizant during the mummification process. The Middle Ages. The Middle Ages in movies. Who would win? Shield. One curvy boy. Ancient Greece man. I'll use olive oil as a contraceptive. Ancient Greece woman. Okay. Also ancient Greece woman. Got pregnant anyway. The USSR when it accidentally created the best-selling video game on the world capitalist market. POV. You've been promoted to officer in the Vietnam War. I want to live. I want to live. Examiner. You think the US can be legally turned into a dictatorship? Kurt Gödel. Yes, and I can prove it. Ellie Whitney. Richard Gatling. This is the exact opposite of what I wanted. The kids in cinema watching Moana to then seeing that Disney made 100% historically accurate Maui death. Know the work rules. Appropriate. I'm a fictionalized version of a real individual from feudal Japanese history. Ah, you're sweet. Inappropriate. I'm a fictionalized version of a real individual from feudal Japanese history. Hello, human resources. British General Howe lost his precious dog. American soldiers wants to keep the pet to taunt them tea lovers. American General Washington. No. You lose re-election to Grover Cleveland. The economy crashes just after he takes office and you're popular again. Babe, it's 4 PM. Time for your royal stamping. Yes honey. What if Balkans united? It already was. If the Maginot Line was so bad, why did the Germans have to go around it? Deep thoughts with the deep. Ancient Egypt 2500 BC. Finally, another pyramid that shows my greatness. Siberia 2500 BC. Truth. Well said even Mamothevich. Napoleonic France exists. Britain for some reason. I'll never forgive the Danish. Promise you won't cry? I promise. I won't cry. I visit some beehives in Brazil that have weird nets on them. I decide the nets are inhumane and placed by meaners, so I remove them. I have introduced Africanized honeybees to the Americas. The 7 Years' War lasted for 7 years. The 30 Years' War lasted for 30 years. The 100 Years' War lasted for 116 years. Enoto Datica after no one wants to make a map of Japan. Fine, I'll do it myself. Aliens observing the Earth, circa 1810. Why does Kamehameha, the largest Earth monarch, not simply eat the others? Time traveler, moves chair. The timeline. Some nutcase going on a rampage with an armored bulldozer because he couldn't dump his crap in the open. I have done nothing wrong, ever, in my life. Libertarians. I know this, and I love you. Abraham Lincoln, need more votes to win the election. A letter from a random girl named Grace Biddell that says, grow a beard, that might help. Abe, let his beard grow. Abe wins the election. Abe. I need someone to save us from the Aztecs. Maybe send an angel. The best angel you have. Laughs in Spanish. People who call Rommel one of the greatest tank commanders. Rommel who used infantry tactics. Welcome to communism. It's time for your farming collectivization. Fine. You are to a communist country. Please collectivize farming finally. Lol. No. America mythologizing MLK based on that one speech. King being a vocal anti-capitalist socialist. You wrote an extra long report to inform the emperor while praising him. He punishes you because he hates long report. You rewrite the report to be under 500 words and became the standard for future reports. The emperor still punishes you because it shows you clearly can keep things short but didn't. You lived around the area. Yes. Where? In the White House, you egghead. Hard to swallow pills. French tanks were better than German ones and Maginot Line worked. POV. It's 370 BC and you just walked into Plato's Academy. Austria. Georgia. Giving the world some of its most brutal dictators, but nobody remembers you for it. George H.W. Bush was excellent at foreign policy and a skilled diplomat who oversaw end of Cold War. But what about Chicken Keef's speech? Predictable Alexander, always using his infantry to hold the center while he delivers a decisive cavalry blow from the right. Good old cavalry charge on the right wing, nothing beats that. Reward Alan Turing for cracking the Enigma code. Cut his balls off. British government. We did it, we time traveled. But to what year? Let me ask that guy over there. How are Romani people doing? They're doing fine actually. We are in a different timeline. Blow my mind. Technically speaking, current modern day Ukraine is a co-founder of UN organization. Napoleon planning out battles. Napoleon sending people who want independence to fight other people who want independence. Macedonia existing again after 2500 years. I'm back. Germans every couple generations. Europe. Rescue us, at best, we can only save 2 people. John Stark proceeds to save the 9 other people from deep snow. Horses. North America. You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me. Modern boys waking up Even if I have a dozen alarms I can't wake up. Medieval men waking up. Thank you, Rooster. It is time to labor. I got you, man. What makes you think you can be an officer in the Swiss army? I once commanded a regiment of another nation's army in battle. Yeah, so. It was the 82nd Illinois Infantry Regiment of the Union Army at the Battle of Gettysburg. Right this way, Major. The entire continent of Europe 5 times. Napoleon. Our gunpowder warehouse was struck by a lightning. So we use the Pantheon as a substitute and house civilians in it. The Venetians don't give a frick. Thank you for watching this video. Tune in at 5 PM British time for a video of changing topic. And at 7 PM for daily juicy memes. Check out my Discord server using the link in the description. Also be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you didn't already.